For Reaper Metal Productions, I'm Adam with Unbaptized Records, and I'm here with the man himself, Mark from Electrocutioner.
Howdy.
So thanks for doing this interview. This is my first interview, so if it sucks, I apologize.
It's all you, man.
But man, thank you so much for coming down all the way from Long Island, New York.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, Electrocutioner, I just wanted to know where the name came from. I assume it's from the DC character.
See, a lot of people assume that. We've gotten, just recently I heard there's an episode called Electrocutioner in the Friday the 13th animated series, which we didn't know about. No, actually, it was simple. We wanted, I wanted a name like Annihilator.
Okay.
Like a Tormentor or a Destructor.
Okay.
Some with the Tor at the end. So I said Electrocutor.
Uh-huh.
And our bassist Rich was like, how about Electrocutioner?
Nice.
So, yeah.
You didn't know about the band from California that was around like a couple of years before you guys?
Kind of did. I think they were longer before us, but yeah.
A little bit. Well, they're posers, so fuck them. Who cares? You guys are better, so.
This interview's going good. Hot takes.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like a hardcore band, right?
Yeah.
So whatever. I kind of knew about it, but you know what? We're doing the gimmick. I guess they can sue us for the dozens of dollars we have.
Well, again, thanks for coming down to CT. So I know you haven't played here before. You guys haven't actually played yet tonight, but so far, how was the trip?
Terrible, man. It took 3 hours and 40 minutes, traffic. We did find, what was it, the Chestnut? Was that the name of the gas station?
Yeah.
We found like the greatest gas station called the Chestnut. They
Nice.
had, you guys know about this?
Yeah.
You put food on the scale, and it knows what you have just by the weight. Like
that's awesome.
I put a sandwich, a coffee, chicken tenders, and it just weighs it and it just goes boom.
You were making fun of me for being
I thought the technology was fantastic.
That is pretty impressive. That is great.
Yeah, but it was a terrible ride. Hopefully on the way home it's a lot shorter. But we listened to all of Whiplash's discography. We listened to Blind Illusion. Then we listened to Destroyer 666 for Tyler. Because he needs a little more testosterone in his life.
Nice. So you guys are kind of a newer band. So what inspired you to do thrash specifically, if anything? What are some of your favorite bands, some of the bands that you guys kind of want to sound like, if anything? Well, not rip off, but want to sound like.
I'm a thrash freak. That's my favorite genre. I love old school thrash. So I don't really like the new style of thrash. So if we're going to be a thrash band, we're going to play old school stuff. You know, no karate kicks, no breakdowns.
Thank you. You're in the Havoc camp. No karate in the pit. That's good.
No C-sharp tuning.
No crowd killing.
Yeah, I mean, if they want a crowd kill, that's fine. It looks cool.
As long as it's not me, just don't crowd kill me, because I'd like to leave here without a broken nose.
We prefer stage dives and just going violent. But we like old school Megadeth, Whiplash, as we mentioned, The Exorcist. I think we've in our style. Show No Mercy, Slayer era, old Sepultura. So that's what we're going for, old school stuff. We're never going to modernize. Nuclear Assault, stuff like that. Yeah.
So I'm going to just get the elephant in the room out of the way. The reason I found out about your band was because of Cool Bomb. I think I found them on Instagram. Well, I knew about them because of Reaper Metal Productions, Hellcast, the channel I'm on. And because of them, I found your stuff. And then I shouted you guys out on Justin's channel, J-Dog, House Headbangers, right?
What's up, Devils?
So because of that video and the other references, and, has anyone come up to you and said anything about being on J-Dog's channel?
You know what? Actually, I think maybe one or two.
Okay.
But more maybe like on Instagram, people message like, yo, sometimes people be like, did you see J-Dog talked about you? I was like, no, I didn't. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So and actually one of them, some people responded. There was another band from New York that did like a paid question. It was more like paid promotion. Like they just like, yo, can you check us out?
You're a little out of camera, sorry.
What'd you say? Oh, I'm out of the camera. All right,
a little bit.
So they were like, check us out. And then we were playing a battle of bands and he was like, yeah, can you give a shout out to the other bands and blah, blah, blah. He's like, Electrocutioner. I was like, well, there's your competition right there, homeboy. Electrocutioner.
Nice.
He's like, I checked out the other albums and he went off about us and stuff. It was much more positive than the first video you did.
Yeah.
I think he kind of likes us a little bit. No, I don't know if he loves our music, but I think he knows because I met him in Texas too.
Yes, I was good. That was the next question. So you must have been reading the script.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, so how did that go? Because you got to meet him.
I actually met him in Texas and I saw him again at MDF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I met him in Texas. Surprisingly, not too many people were going up to him. He just was like kind of chilling like there. And I introduced myself. I was like, yo, you said some nice compliments and you also roasted our bass player on his wardrobe.
Yes, I saw that.
Thank you, J-Dog. He's improved. He's got the white high tops. He's got black jeans. He's got long hair now, so we're improving that. He was super cool. We were talking, probably talked for like 10 minutes, just bullshitting.
Nice.
And then I saw him at MDF because the Hell's Headbangers was there and I bought some stuff. And then I was talking to him. I told him my hot take because I ran into the band Attic.
Yeah, of course. They're
So
playing the show. If you're not out of that show, man, you got to talk about being posers.
What's it called? Dog of the Dead.
Dog of the Dead.
Fest. I can't.
Yep.
I gotta
definitely going out there.
My wife, we're going to Ohio. But so after Attic, for those who don't know, Attic is like a King Diamond type of Merciful Fate band from Germany. and they played Hell's Heroes, the first U.S. show ever. So 2 in the morning, actually, we were going back up to the hotel room, and it was me, my wife, and Attic in an elevator. So
that's the start of a really good joke.
Well, so here's the thing. I have this like hot take, which I'm too cheap to pay J-Dog, but I go, I went to the singer. I was like, and he's shorter than me, which was surprising. I go, hey, dude, you know, you're Attic, right? He's like, yeah, we're Attic, because you guys are great. I was like, you know what would be cool? Because I was like, I saw you with an upside-down Jesus microphone. He's like, yeah. I was like, you know what would be a lot more badass if you had like an upside-down like Mohammed or Allah, because the Christians, they're not going to do anything. They're going to go, oh, it's not badass. So it's cool. And he was like, yeah, would be super edgy, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So I told J-Dog that. He's like, what'd you think of Attic? What'd you think of Attic? I was like, actually, I thought Attic was lame at first, but then my wife made the point, which J-Dog makes too. There's a million bands that sound like Maiden or Priest. The fact is only one that sounds like Merciful Fate. People think they're like posers.
Successfully too.
So actually, at Hell's Heroes, they won me over. I thought they were great.
That's awesome.
So I told him what I said, and he was like, I was like, what do you think about that? I was like, yeah, I support that. I support more anti-Islam, any religion. That's the J-Dog.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's like I'm in the room with
this
right
is
now.
a dedication. This is not an insult. I'm a big J-Dog fan. I'm a subscriber.
Nice, 100%. So my next question was, if this is successful tonight, do you plan to come back to Connecticut?
Absolutely, yeah. We our plan after August, we've got some stuff coming up for next year. Is to really do more out-of-state stuff. Super local to us in Long Island, because we play Brooklyn and Queens a lot more. Yeah, Long Island's kind of really rare for us nowadays. But yeah, we'd love to come back to Connecticut. This bar looks sick so far. Yeah, we have a lot of venues. It's just a lot of small venues. So that kind of leads to my next question. How do you, as a smaller band, figure out what kind of venues you're going to play and what kind of bands you're going to play with? Well, actually, figuring out the venue is mostly a DIY. So actually, Maidenhead from Massachusetts and us, we kind of collaborated to book this show. We're playing New Jersey Metal Fest tomorrow, so we couldn't play within a certain mile radius. And like, let's get a Connecticut show. Yeah. So we booked that, and we heard nothing but great, rave reviews about this place and some of the certain bands. So they got the other bands. I had nothing to do with this, but a lot of time we just hit up bands. But being an old school thrash metal band, 7 out of 8 or 8 out of 10 shows, we're not playing with thrash bands, or maybe one, and they're more of a newer thrash band, which is a blessing and a curse. Sometimes, like last week, we played with no thrash bands, and we stood out, and people loved it. People come up to you like, "Oh, we love the old school thrash stuff," and then other times, we just stick out like a sore thumb. So when we book local shows, like I'll book shows sometimes in Queens or Long Island, I try to bring in thrash bands. Yeah. Like I'm bringing in Desolus soon.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Desolus is fucking awesome. I can't believe I missed the Spider tour. Yeah. That was sick.
Well, we got offered to play that show, but...
oh, really? That would have been nice.
This guy, Tyler, couldn't play the show. He had something wrong, I think.
That's tough. I got to see Spider in Hamden with Goat Whore. Yeah. That was a cool show. Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of the shows that you guys play with bands I recognize. Dissentients from Pennsylvania. That's a Cruel Bomb. Yeah, Cruel Bomb. Like, awesome. Yeah, Sadistic Force that I know you did some work with on their album.
Yeah, we did this. I did the synth track that opens their album, and then James does like an interesting vocal effect on one of ours. But yeah, every time I book a show, I try to bring like more old school speed metal, or thrash metal, or old school death metal, because there's not too much old school thrash metal. But but I'll try to bring in bigger bands. Like we've had Blood Feast.
That's all. Blood Feast, fucking. What did you think of the new album?
I liked it. I listened to it. I know Dave. Shout out to Dave, the bass player. I thought it was really cool.
That's cool. I'll admit I picked it up. Haven't listened to it yet, but I do own it. So I'm definitely.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's. Even if it was bad, which it's not, even if it was bad, it's still Blood Feast, and it's better than most of the crap that puts out. And they're cool because they're like death thrash, but they never progressed to like being all death metal. They're still a death thrash band, which is there's not many death thrash. All the newer death thrash bands are more like death metal-y. Yeah, like they still sound like they're not all the way
balance.
Right. Yeah, and most death thrash bands don't do that. I feel like they go one way, usually towards death metal. So. All
right. Well, I hear the bands are starting to play, so I just got like one last question for you. All right. I saw Heaven's Gate, awesome song, cool ass music video. If you haven't checked it out, the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna leave descriptions and a link below. But new album, when's it coming out? Any idea? Will it be a single, EP? What do you guys think?
An album. No, we got 7 out of 9 or 6 out of 9 songs written. We're demoing like at least half of them. Drums are gonna get recorded in November. Nice. Okay. And then it should be done. Tyler's a fast dude on the drums. We probably should have the whole album recorded except for vocals by like December, January. And then probably we're looking for probably early spring, depending on someone else. Probably will not put it out because it's old school thrash metal. So we just got to do all the work to kind of.
There's this cool little label not many people know about called Unbaptized Records. So maybe if they're looking for some releases, after there's a couple that are in the works, but you can always talk. I know the guy. I know him personally, so I can put in a good word for you.
Yeah. That's kind of what we need help in that department because we're a DIY band. Like we recorded the whole last album ourselves, but I respect anybody who's like DIY. But it's very hard to like. People don't realize like you got to lay out the cassette, make sure the font's perfect, the layout doesn't sound right. Then you got to do the CD. Then you got to make sure the artwork fits, and then you got to worry about the sound of your record, the recording, then the promotion. It's hard to do it all on your own.
And it's tough too because even if you hire someone out to do it, maybe they don't have like your best intentions, or they're the kind of guy that you email. Yeah, bro, I'll get right back to you. And doesn't email you back. We've heard about that story.
Actually, that's what I talked to J-Dog about too. I actually said, one thing I love about J-Dog's channel, besides how hilarious he is, and I agree with what I would say about like 8 out of 10 things he says I agree with, but I think one of the best part of his channels, which I told him that you should do more of, is like the business side.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like for me, booking shows and that type of stuff, like doing the layouts, I go, it's amazing how many flakes there are in heavy metal. It's like I guess they don't work like a lot, or maybe they do work regular jobs, I don't know, but it's like you send the band an email or a guy out an email, and like they get back to you like a month later. I'm like, guys, we gotta like I'm trying to promote this. I need the information. So I told them like I think that's something interesting. But that's what we need help with, like just kind of someone to get that attention to detail so we can focus on writing and recording and get more killer shows,
Definitely. Well, speaking of killer shows, I'm going to segue into my final actual last question. But since I told you this is Friday, you're going to be in New Jersey, said tomorrow, but this video won't go up until Wednesday. So what do you guys have planned for like Wednesday and beyond? What are some shows people can look for you for?
All right. So August 3rd, we're doing our first show in Long Island in a while at the Lindenhurst Village Pub. Village Pub, Lindenhurst. It's a really dive bar in Long Island, but that's what we're doing. And then in end of August, we got a super cool run. It's going to be, I think it's August 22nd to the 24th, 22nd in Brooklyn with Sadistic Force in Texas. They're coming up. We're doing all 3 days with them. Funeral Dancer, Sentient Horror from Jersey, and Oxygen Destroyer.
And by the way, those two bands, those are Redefining Darkness bands. That's Tommy, who knows the guy who I'm working with for this channel.
Yeah.
So, well, we didn't get interrupted J-Dog style. We're pretty damn close, but we're also in the middle of the street, so.
Oh, yeah, he's showing off.
You're going to get that. He was showing off. He knows.
Yeah, so we're doing that Brooklyn. The next day's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
We're going with, once again, Sadistic Force, Corrupted Palace, Cranium Drain, and Bastard Cross is joining us. And they're one more time in Philly, Bastard Cross, Sadistic Force, us, and Wild Beyond at Kung Fu Necktie.
Okay.
And then in October, we're doing a Long Island show. I'm bringing Desolus, Maidenhead, and we got to figure this crap out. Sometime in October, we got to figure it out.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's it. And then recording in November.
All right, cool. Well, that's basically all I got. So, like I said, I'm going to leave the, well, maybe I didn't say it, but I'm saying it now. I'm going to leave links in the description so you can check out their band, Electrocutioner. All the shows they mentioned, I'm going to try to link them in the description below. Same with Bandcamp and all that stuff. Now all I need is my camera guy to shut the video off for me.
Shut it off.
All right, that was it, guys.
Shut it off, camera gimp.